What's up guys, Artem MMA Analysis here, recording this video for the third time because I can't get it right. I'm overtired, I keep rambling about things that just aren't important to the fights at all. Hopefully I can rush through this now. As always, going to be talking about UFC 277, and this is my early breakdown, or my early predictions, more so not really a breakdown. This is where I give my initial thoughts on the card. I go through the fight card for the first time with you guys, and then in 48 hours time after this video is uploaded, you will be getting my full card breakdown where I give my official predictions, and then break down the card, say what I've said. So over the next 48 hours, you know, in my free time, I'm going to be watching some fights, I'm going to be researching a lot. You're going to see a couple of fights that I'm not super confident in, that I need to research more and find out more information about the fighters. So you know what, like, there's some fights on here I'm just going to be openly honest with you guys and say that I'm not confident, but that just is what it is. That's kind of part of the video. I know a lot of people say, like, oh my god, like, why do you do this? But it's just fun, man. It's just extra content for you guys. It's extra content for me because I do love making YouTube videos. It is something that does make me happy, you know, and hey, if you've got a problem with it, just don't watch it. Like, if you want to see my official picks, like, feel free to just wait 48 hours and you're going to get my official breakdown and all that. But for now, let's go through the card. Orion Kosuke versus Blood Diamond. I want to pick Blood Diamond. I'm from New Zealand, as you guys hopefully can tell from my accent. Blood Diamond is fighting out of City Kickboxing, which is a pretty major gym, probably the only MMA gym in the whole country, to be fair. But yeah, I've got to pick Kosuke. Blood Diamond, man, like, I know I'm kicking a horse while he's down, or kicking a dog while it's down, or whatever the saying is, but yeah, man, like, Jeremiah Wells, and like, I mean, obviously that was a weird performance, terrible performance, unfortunate, really. Blood Diamond and Jeremiah Wells kind of like fell over. It was just so weird. Ended up on the ground, and Blood Diamond got choked out. But Orion Kosuke's got grappling in his background. He's got some wrestling. He's fighting a Team Alpha Male who has a lot of good wrestlers there. He's not gonna play dumb. He's not gonna try and strike with Blood Diamond. You know what I mean? He's gonna wrestle. He's gonna try and grapple, and I think he is gonna eventually get a ground and pound TKO, just like he did on Contender Series over Matt Dixon. So yeah, I think Kosuke ground and pound TKO. Maybe his submission is pretty live too, but yeah, Diamond, like, even then, like, his kickboxing is good, but it's not like incredible. You know what I mean? I think Kosuke. I hope Blood Diamond wins. Like, I don't think I can emphasize that enough, but like, for the sake of my channel and my predictions and my prediction record, I've got to pick Orion Kosuke, just realistically, you know. So Nick Negumereanu versus Ihor Potieria, two guys that I'm just not that confident in. Nick Negumereanu and Ihor Potieria have both fought terrible competition, and there's so many red flags with Ihor Potieria, guys. It's unbelievable. Like, this guy's record, like, you look into his record, in 2018, which, yes, is 4 years ago, but he won a split decision over a guy that was 17 and 18 when he was 12 and 2. He took a guy that was 0 and 3 to decision. Like, I don't know, man. Like, were these guys getting paid to not get knocked out? Like, is that how dodgy is this record? I don't know, man. Like, I don't like the record. I'm picking Nick Negumereanu. I think he's an underdog as well. So many red flags on him. Like, there's still red flags on Negumereanu because the guys that he's fought aren't that great, let's be honest. Like, the winner of Njoku was kind of gifted to him, but I can trust him more than I can trust Potieria. Like, I know I picked Lucas Sadolski to beat Potieria, and maybe that's me being like, oh my god, like, you picked the guy that I picked. I'm not going to pick you anymore, but they beat the guy that I picked. But I don't know, I feel like just so many red flags in Ihor Potieria. You look through this guy's record, you know, and it's scary to me. Like, less than 2 years ago, he fought a guy that was 0 and 4. Guy that was 0 and 2, like 11 and 5, 5 and 2, 8 and 0. That's a really good win. Sadolski's a really good win. I will give him that. But apart from that, I don't know, man. I just can't. I'm gonna have to look into Dana White's Contender Series. His Dana White's Contender Series fight again. Ihor Potieria, that is. Yeah, man. Give me Negumereanu. I don't think either guy is super great, or as good as their record kind of says they are. But Negumereanu, I think he's gonna wrestle. I think he's gonna put the wrestling shoes on. I think he's gonna wrestle Potieria to a decision win, in my opinion. Now, my computer, I pushed the wrong button, I'm an idiot. Now, give me Jeon Kim as well versus Jocelyn Edwards as a slight underdog, very slight underdog here. I think she's going to out-volume Jocelyn Edwards. Jocelyn Edwards is a pretty good kickboxer, she's a pretty good striker. I think the fight will take place at range, and both girls will be kickboxing. I think it will be somewhat interesting and somewhat exciting, because Jeon Kim's last fight was awesome against Priscilla Cachoeira. I believe it was a fight of the night, and I do think that Jeon Kim was, like, low-key, like, robbed of a decision, maybe, like, question mark, I don't know, but it was a close one. But anyway, Jeon Kim, really good striker. Well, not super good, but Good enough to throw more volume than Jocelyn Edwards is anyway. And I think Julian Kim is going to out-volume Jocelyn Edwards on the feet and win a decision. Underdog pick on that one there. Edwards looked alright in her last fight, up like 2 weight classes, but I think Julian Kim's going to get it. Now, Michael Morales versus Adam Fugit. I think Adam Fugit's really good. I do think he's great, but I don't think he's as good as Michael Morales. I picked Michael Morales as an underdog against... Oh, not Trevin Giles, sorry. I picked him as an underdog against Nikolai Veretennikov. And then I picked Trevin Giles to beat him. And man, he looked really good against that one, man. But I think you can't blame me too much, man. Like, the step up in competition between Nikolai Veretennikov and Trevin Giles is major. And he passed that test. Like, he was meant to fight Ramiz Brahimaj. I think he would have knocked out Ramiz Brahimaj pretty easily, not going to lie. But Adam Fugit stepping in like a week and a half's notice. I feel like hopefully he signed a multiple fight contract because this guy's good. He recently knocked out Solomon Renfro and slept him pretty bad. And Solomon Renfro is a really good fighter who I rate pretty highly personally. So hopefully Adam Fugit can get a couple of wins in the UFC. He is like pretty old. He's almost 34 years old, so he's pretty old to come into the UFC for the first time. Michael Morales is 23. Mad record, 13-0. If the UFC looks after this guy, I can see him being like 16-0, 17-0 with like mad hype behind him. And I'm picking Morales. I'm picking Morales KO. But hopefully we see Fugit come back and win a couple of fights in the UFC after this one. Now, Drakkar Klose versus Rafa Garcia. If you guys don't know, man, I'm in this group chat with the boys. You know what I mean? Like my YouTube boys, I guess you would call them. We got a mad group chat going on. I was talking about Rafa Garcia, and Effie from Any Action Sportscast actually agreed with me not to sleep on Rafa Garcia. I don't know if he's picking Rafa Garcia, but I agree. He agreed with me, like, don't sleep on Rafa Garcia. And for now, I'm picking Rafa Garcia. He's my mad underdog pick right now. I don't think he's like too big of an underdog. I think he's like plus 200 or something around those lines. I'm not too sure what the odds actually are. Let me find out before I start talking about things that just aren't true. If I can type, that would help. He is right now... Gonna find out. But Drakkar Klose, he come back after about 2 years because he had that situation with Jeremy Stevens. He had that situation where he got knocked out by Beneil Dariush, and he's on Beneil Dariush's highlight reel. But he's really competitive with Beneil Dariush, to be fair, but he didn't impress me enough against Brandon Jenkins to be like, oh my god, he's gonna steamroll Rafa Garcia, who is admittedly taking the fight on short notice. He is about plus 185 right now versus Klose. Oh, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't like the Rafa Garcia pick at all. Give me Drakkar Klose. Sorry, guys. I'm picking Drakkar Klose for now. Not that confident. Give me Drakkar Klose for now. Fight I'm going to have to look into big time. I just pushed the wrong button again. What is wrong with me? Now, Dante Ali Mays or is it Hamdi Abdelwahab? Hey, man. Artem MMA, you come here, sometimes, not all the time, but I hit you with a few facts. I hit you with a few facts that maybe you're not going to get elsewhere, or maybe if you get them elsewhere, maybe they're not like that secret, but Hamdi Abdelwahab, if you guys don't know, to start with, there's so many red flags here, and he's an Olympic wrestler. He was in the 2016 Olympics for wrestling, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. He did lose against this other guy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but he did lose his Olympic wrestling sort of bout or fight or what you would call it, but hey man, he's a wrestler. He's an Egyptian Olympic wrestler. He's made the transition to MMA. He fought amateur scene for quite a bit. He didn't really lose. He lost to illegal strikes, so he never really lost. And then he come into bare knuckle MMA for Jorge Masvidal, which is madness to me. And beat Matthew Strickland, beat Conor McKenna in like less than a minute combined, and then he fought Matthew Strickland again in actual MMA. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe Matthew Strickland's getting paid by Abdelwahab's team to lose and make his record look good. But yeah, he's low key Jorge Masvidal's boy. He's fought for Game Breed Fighting Championships owned by Jorge Masvidal. And then he's fought for Icon FC, which is now owned by Jorge Masvidal. So I feel like that's definitely what's got him signed. But he's also the first Egyptian signee to the UFC. I think the UFC looked at the fact that he was an Olympic wrestler. They can use that to kind of sell the fight a little bit, I guess you could say. Now, what he is, he's obviously got the wrestling in his back pocket, but the fights don't last long because this guy's got pop in the hands for real. Like, Hamdi Abdelwahab, he's a big boy. I know Dante Mays is like 6'6" with a massive reach, but Hamdi is built, man. He's also taken the fight on short notice as well. I believe he's gotten about 2 or 3 weeks notice for this fight. I think it's enough. I think it's enough notice. To be fair, like he's been signed for the UFC, and he's probably been training full time kind of since then, getting really ready for his first MMA fight for UFC. And I'm picking Hamdi, man. I like him. I do like him. There's so many red flags. Like I'm not picking Ihor Pateria due to red flags, but yeah, I think beating the same guy in MMA twice is a red flag. Not gonna lie, but. Give me Hamdi by KO. I think he should be able to beat Dontale Mays. By the way, I was going to pick Justin Tuffer to beat Dontale Mays as well, so take with that what you will. Now, Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves. Picking Drew Dober. Really confident in Drew Dober as well. Like, Rafael Alves is good, man. I feel like he's somewhat an underrated fighter. You know, he doesn't have the most impressive record. Neither does Drew Dober, but both guys are pretty good. Both guys are veterans of the game, but Drew Dober's got the pop in the shots, you know what I mean? He's got the power in the hands. And, I think he's going to sleep Rafael Alves. You know, Rafael Alves went to decision with Demir Ismakilov, who's a really good fighter. You know, I think he's actually ranked number 15 right now. But, yeah, submitted Alejandro Flores by guillotine. Submitted Mark Diakese by guillotine. So, obviously, if Drew Dober's going to look for a takedown, he's going to have to look out for that. But, yeah, Drew Dober's not bad. Like, his last two losses, Islam Makhachev in the third round. Brad Riddell by decision. You know, like, you know, Brad Riddell's good. You know, he's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. Brad Riddell's great, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm from New Zealand. A little bit of bias. That, hey, man, like, he knocked out Terence McKinney after getting dropped. So I think he knocks out Rafael Alves, man. Give me Dober by knockout. Now, this fight, I feel like is going to be, like, the underrated, quote-unquote, fight of the night, or banger of the night. You know what I mean? Like, two guys... They're not, like, I don't think the casual fan will be too familiar with Matt Semmelsberger. I don't think the casual fan will be too familiar with Alex Moreno either, even though he did headline a UFC fight night against Donald Cerrone. That was a headline, right? But on short notice as well, by the way. But since then, he beat David Zawada. I picked him to beat David Zawada. He beat Mickey Gall. I think I picked him to beat Mickey Gall as well. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not going to pretend I did or didn't. But Matt Semmelsberger, AJ Fletcher fans out there, and then AJ Fletcher's got a cult fan base, either that or he's got a bunch of fake accounts that he just kind of trolls people on. But last video I made about AJ Fletcher, a lot of the comments have been like flagged by YouTube and deleted and stuff because they were pretty hateful, man. Like I made a video about AJ Fletcher. And I picked Matt Semmelsberger to beat AJ Fletcher, and my god, like, either him, his friends, or his family, they came after me, man. They were sending, like, so many hateful comments to me. Like, they were talking all this and talking all that, and I was like, dude, like, you know, like, it was madness, man. It was absolutely crazy. Never had that happen to me before until now. And it still hasn't happened to me. Even if I pick against people, like, I feel like, what's his name? Who's the guy that just knocked out Brad Riddell? Oh, I forgot his name. Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's really nice, man. Like, I picked against him so many times, and he's always so nice about it. He's just chill dude. Him and his mum, who's his manager, watch my videos about Jalen Turner, and like every time I pick against them, they're nice about it. Like they don't take it too personal. Unlike old mate, like Jesus Christ, I thought I'd bring that up because it just annoys me so much. But yeah, short notice fill in. Oh, sorry, that was a co-main event, not a main event. Sorry, short notice fill in for Donald Cerrone, won by TK on the first round. Scary, man. Sad win in a way, but Alex Moreno's looked great since then. But Matt Semmelsberger, I love this guy, man. I do like Matt Semmelsberger as a fighter. I don't know what it is about him, but I like Semmelsberger. Give me Semmelsberger KO. His best win on his record. Knockout over Warsano. Let's go. Oh my god, that was such a meme fight, man. Honestly, you watch that, it's craziness. It's funny. Now, Magomedov Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. I don't know, man. Ankalaev just doesn't really put on the most exciting fights, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on that one. Like, his main event versus Thiago Santos, he's pay-per-view poison. He's actually pay-per-view poison. Like, you do not want the UFC does not want this guy as champion. I'm sorry. He becomes a champion, no one's gonna pay to watch him. He's just a slow fighter. He's not really that exciting. Like, he's got pop in the hands, but he doesn't really throw like anymore. He doesn't really do it anymore. He just kind of fights his fight and wins a decision. Now, Anthony Smith, pretty well-rounded fighter, beats up on a lot of guys. You know, beat Jimmy Crute by injury, unfortunately, which has aged pretty well in a way. But yeah, Ryan Spann win is a bit like yeah, you know, like Devin Clark win is a bit yeah, like I don't know. I think Ankalaev's got the better recent wins anyway, and. Yeah, he's going to win a decision here, and it's just it's gonna be an Ankalaev decision win, and everyone's gonna be like, oh wow, So maybe it'll be exciting. Hopefully, I jinxed it, and he ends up putting on a really exciting performance. But all I'm saying, man, is if you really need to shit and the main card's about to start, do it at the start, because then you can watch the rest of the card uninterrupted. So yeah, so Alejandro Pentova versus Alex Perez. Give me Alejandro Pentova. I believe he's the more well-rounded fighter out of the two. Alex Perez has taken about a year and a half off. So many cancelled fights, which is crazy to me. I think he actually missed weight in the last one. I think it was this Match Now bout where he missed weight when he weighed in. And yeah, he did. He weighed in at 128, and Match Now was like, nah, I'm not fighting him. So I think they both got paid their show money, and they didn't fight. So yeah, that was interesting, an interesting situation. But so many cancelled fights since he lost to Davison Figueiredo in 2020. And since then, I don't really know what he's been up to. Like he should have fought a lot, but he's had so many cancelled fights. It's just so strange that he hasn't been able to fight. But they're finally putting Pentova versus Perez together. I think Pentova is going to submit him. I think Pentova is a really good fighter. I think he's very underrated in a way. Like, I think he potentially does deserve to be in the title picture, especially with the win over Perez. He'll probably call someone out. He'll probably call out the winner of Moreno France, even though the winner of that is definitely going to fight Figueiredo. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm picking Pentova. I'm picking him by submission as well. Perez has got a shot. Like, he's a good fighter. But Pentova at minus 150, I really don't think you can go too wrong with that pick. Now, Derek Lewis versus Sergey Pavlovitch. I'm picking Sergey Pavlovitch to win, and I'm picking him to win by knockout. Now, the mentality of Derek Lewis is actually evident. I was going to say it, and then I was going to go, oh no, like, I don't want to come off as a hater or a disrespectful or whatever, but Derek Lewis has said it himself. He literally said himself, money comes first, the title comes second. He's fighting for money at the moment, which is a cool mentality to have. I respect it. Like, he's 37 years old. I'm not too sure if he's got children or is trying to set up his children or whatever, like, or just kind of like have like a mean lifestyle himself, or set himself up for early retirement. But money comes first to Derek Lewis, and he's not really too focused on the title anymore. So yes, he's obviously focused on winning because then he wins more money, but I just feel like Sergey Pavlovitch is the hungrier guy out of the two. He just come off like a 2-year layoff. He's going to be itching to get back in the cage after beating Shamil Abdurakhimov 3 months ago. Like, he doesn't really have great wins in his record, to be fair. Like, he made his debut against the Reem, which is madness. And Marcelo Golm ain't really the greatest win. Maurice Green ain't really a good win at all. But Shamil Abdurakhimov, pretty good win. And I don't know, man. I feel like it's such a big reach picking Pavlovitch because all of his wins aren't that great. Like, even the Abdurakhimov one ain't that great. Like, he's fighting a light heavyweight in Jailton Almeida coming up soon. So, yeah, I'm picking Sergey Pavlovitch here. I think he beats Derek Lewis by KO. I think he just uses the range. Or maybe, yeah, I'm going to say KO. I don't think he goes to the distance. I'm going to say Pavlovitch uses the reach, uses the boxing, kind of stays out of Derek Lewis's punching range. But if Derek Lewis finds a KO and knocks him out, I'm not going to be surprised, like, whatsoever. Because, yeah, Pavlovitch is pretty unproven. I think it's a pretty fair statement to say. But Moreno versus Kaikara France 2. This fight is playing out on the feet. Big time, it's playing out on the feet. Kaikara France, I believe, has proven multiple times that he is the best defensive grappler at 125. He defended Askarov for the second and third round. He knocked out Cody Garbrandt, which is awesome KO. Defended Rogerio Bontorin when he was on his back for a whole round, turned around and just knocked him out. He lost to Brandon Royval, but I believe he was hurt when that happened. And yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, biased me wants to pick Kaikara France, and also non-biased me wants to pick Kaikara France as well. And the reason is, Moreno was getting caught by some big shots. You could say, oh my god, like, his Figueiredo is a powerful guy, but they weren't just, like, one-off shots. They were, like, end-of-combination shots he was getting caught by and dropped by, and that's why he lost the fight. It's because he's getting dropped so many times. Like, yes, he's got a great chin. He's probably not going to get starched here, but he was getting caught by some big shots. I think Kaikara France, does have the potential to capitalize on a big shot. Like, he landed a big shot on Cody Garbrandt and didn't let off. He landed like 7 or 8 punches in a combination. Or I think it's like 6 punches in a combination. And Moreno, I think, has got really good boxing. I think he's got the boxing to potentially keep Kaikara France at range, which could definitely happen. And but yeah, I'm gonna side with Kaikara France. I think non-biased me is picking him. Really good defensive grappler. He has offensive grappling, but it's not that great. It's not as good as like Figueiredo's offensive grappling, you know what I mean, or someone else's like Pentova's offensive grappling. But if he really needs to lean on it, he probably will. Yeah, Coco France, I think he's gonna keep the fight at kickboxing range. I think he's gonna chop away at the legs of Moreno. I think he's gonna use a lot of kicks, a lot of body kicks, work the body early, and I think he's gonna win. Third round knockout, Kai Kara France. I'm gonna pick that. You know what? I will pick it. Kai Kara France knockout in the third round. I think Moreno, he's gonna look for takedowns. He's gonna look to submit him. Kai Kara France's defensive grappling is really good, man. I think he's an underrated fighter. Look, the thing is, biased me is picking him, but also non-biased me is picking him. You know what I mean? Like when I look at it from the back, and be like, oh, like he's from New Zealand, but like when I actually really look at this fight, I do genuinely believe Kai Kara France is gonna win. I know Moreno's got a lot of fans. Might get a bit of dislikes for that, but it is what it is, man. I really do pick Kai Kara France. I think he's great. I think he's a brilliant fighter. I really do. Now, Julian Pena versus Amanda Nunes 2. Does lightning hit the same spot twice? I don't think so. I do believe... Oh, man, like, the thing is, Pena... I don't know, man. I wasn't watching the Ultimate Fighter season 30, so I don't know if Pena is living rent-free in Nunes' head or not. But what I did see, which is not a lot, Nunes just kind of seems unfazed. Like, she doesn't really look like she cares that she lost to Juliana Pena. Like Pena talks a bit of smack every now and then, but it doesn't live in Nunes. She doesn't live in Nunes' head. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think Nunes is too phased. I think maybe what happened was potentially like a bad weight cut, or she completely underestimated Pena. But the thing is, man, Nunes' body of work when she's lost just is starting to kind of crack a little bit. You kind of see, like, the best win she's got at Cyborg in 2018. Holly Holm's a good win in 2019, but since then, who did she beat? Durandamy, Spencer, Megan Anderson? Like, I don't know, man. Like, her whole record and resume is starting to crack a little bit with that loss. I feel like you kind of step back and you look at it, but Amanda Nunes, I believe, is going to beat Juliana Pena. I'm picking her to win again. Oh, man, could I be wrong? Yes, but I think Nunes is going to beat Pena. The thing is, though, Pena is low-key a nightmare matchup for Nunes because she's so good on the ground. And maybe that's what scares Nunes from kind of throwing. But even then, like, Nunes' striking looked terrible against Pena, and it normally looks really good. Or maybe it's just because she's not really fighting great girls, you know. But I think Nunes was more committed to 145 at that time. I'm just making excuses at this point, by the way. But yeah, I think she's more committed to 145 at that point. Now I think she's going to really commit to 135. She's going to lose a little bit of weight so she can make the weight cut a lot easier on herself and be more of a 135 and not a 145. Her fighting at 135 in this fight, and I think she's going to beat Juliana Pena. I think she's going to knock her out. And maybe they do a trilogy, because like, what's really going on at the women's 135-pound division right now? Not a lot. Maybe we see a trilogy. I don't know how many people would actually want to watch that, but yeah, give me Nunes. The press conference for this card is going to suck. It has not got the same amount of value as UFC 274 or even UFC 275 in my opinion. The fact that this is going to cost you guys in the US like $75 US, it costs us like $40 in New Zealand, which is like $30 US, I believe, or something like that, $25 US. But hey, man, like, oh my god, it's such an expensive card. Yeah, madness. But anyway, I don't want to like make this video too long. Like, there is 13 fights, it's a lot, but yeah, I've rambled a lot in this video. Hopefully it's okay. I'm just overtired. Sorry, team. I'll see you next time.